and welcome to Touch the Plane Tarot. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to take a look at what's next for you in your career. We'll probably do it kind of in a two-part reading where we look at where you are and then we take a look at where you're headed. You have 3 groups to choose from today. Group number 1, card number 31, Lorelei, and group number 1 has the Smoky Quartz. For group number 2, card number 40, Oh Sunny Day, paired with the Lemon Quartz. And group number 3, card number 37, No Rain Today, paired with the Champagne Topaz. I'll let the video roll for a little bit longer as you tune in to which group or groups you are drawn to. Once you've selected your group, you can go to the timestamps in the description box below, and I'll see you in your reading. Hello and welcome to your career reading, group number 1. You've chosen Lorelei and the Smoky Quartz. So let's pull some cards. We'll find out what's your, where have you been, and then we'll take a look at where you're going. So let's find out, where is group number 1 in their career? That's too many cards. Where's group number 1 in their career? Where are they going? Where are they going? Let's actually make 2 piles and then we'll reveal them together. Okay, let's do things a little bit differently today. Where is group number 1 in their career? Where are they going? Where is group number 1 in their career? Wow, these are slippery. Where's group number 1 in their career? I think we're going to do 2. Where's group number 1 in their career? Where are they going? Where's group number 1 going? Okay, can we have information for, well, definitely that one. We have information for where group number 1 is in their career. Like that too. Okay, how many do we have? 4. Making this up as we go. New strategy today. We have information for where is group number 1. Where are they going? It's that one. Okay. Of course, we can always pick some clarifier cards if we need to, but let's set that aside and let's just take a look here. And whoa, the wolf. This is where have you been? just carve the Lover's card here for the rules so that we don't get our video taken down. Okay. The Wolf. You have been very ambitious in your career thus far, Group 1. Okay, let's start with the overall energy of the Wolf. The Wolf is concerned with the livelihood of the pack. The Wolf is thinking about its pack. It's making decisions about what's good for its pack. It's in a mindset of leadership. That is something we also see with the Lorelei card. As you can see, in the mermaid actually holds this anchor and is in complete control as to whether this ship sinks, floats, sails. You have been in, I don't want to use the word control. You've been in a position to guide and steer that ship or that pack in certain directions. In the guidebook it says the wolf gets into trouble when it assumes every member of the tribe must follow suit. When out of balance, it says the wolf can be judgmental and dominating, and this seems very reflective of the Sheriff of Nottingham card. Let's take a closer look at him. Let's find out more about the Sheriff. Okay, group number 1. As a leader, you have had a tendency to lead with a harsh hand. That's why the Sheriff is coming up for you. Because of that inner drive for every decision to be for the whole, sometimes that has also brought a sense of harshness. In your attempts to bring justice to a group, you may have indeed found yourself in a position of creating stress, tension, anxiety. I see you very much in this place of people may be fearful to get on your bad side. Yet the Temperance card is showing me that this is something you are aware of. These tendencies, this is not news to you. You're aware of that, and you use your logic and your skills to balance yourself. Therefore, you can apply that to the group setting. That's a wolf spirit type of tendency. To that judgmental nature of the wolf can sometimes backfire when it comes to a group, even though that's not the intention. And this is something that you're working on. And when you've done that self-work, you've seen yourself shift from this stern, unwielding energy that's very fiery and passionate. You've actually had some success in shifting that energy to where you're bringing balance to the team, and that's bringing a lightness. And that's an energy that you want to continue to check on, to make sure that you're bringing this energy to a team or group setting, rather than being seen as this, because this is not a guy who fosters a healthy working environment. His pursuit for law and justice actually undermines the exact nature of what he should be doing, making him in the villain position. But you've noticed that negative tendency in yourself, and you have actually done the work to be more. And this is a guy who is in a position of leadership, but he's doing so with a light hand. He has a pleasant expression versus a stern expression. These is kind of similar kind of vibe coming up here. He's bringing it with a lighthearted nature, and that spreads to others in such a wonderful way. And I'm seeing that there's, when in partnership, the Lovers is coming up, not to say that you have a romantic relationship in your career. The Lovers is coming up to say that when you have approached professional relationships with equality, with compassion, with balance, that's actually when you have had your biggest successes. And there's a reminder here, there's a encouragement here that, yeah, you've done a good job. This is really cool, that you've been able to do this self-reflection and self-work. And it's also a reminder to you that those relationships, professional relationships in your career, help you to have more success in what you're doing, to have a better, more positive outcome. This is a card of abundance, and this abundance doesn't come to you if you've slipped into this energy. This abundance comes to you when you have fostered this cooperative nature. And the Lovers card is also a reminder of when you have those supportive, loving relationships in your personal life, that also gives you a sense of stability that translates into your professional life. So it's also potentially a reminder and an acknowledgement that those outside of career relationships are really important as well. So that gives us a sense of where you've been, where you are. So let's clear these, and let's take a look at, oops, whoa, again, some fiery energy here. Phoenix energy, Will Scarlet. So, group number one, you're still in a fiery energy, but the nature here is a little different. The Phoenix is here to burn off karma. So there's instances when you have maybe had unfair judgment to team members and kind of fostered a bitter working environment. Though in this process of being self-aware and changing that and switching that around, that's actually burning off that old karma, and in turn redirecting that fire to be used in a much more productive manner. So instead of the Sheriff of Nottingham energy, you're now in the Will Scarlet energy. Will Scarlet's a fiery character who, you know, is very quick-witted. There's in the guidebook here, there is a caution here. It says, beware of his hot-tempered and impatient manner, however, and do not let him pull you deeper into difficult situations. There's still that tendency to go into the negative, but you have a character here who is a hero character. So the intentions are really good, but can sometimes still have a tendency to backfire. So there's a part of the guidebook here that talks about the character as a challenger. So Will is coming up here to challenge you. I will expect you to undertake tasks that you may feel are beyond you. Okay, in this scenario where you've been a leader that has been successful but has also brought some negativity to a team, trying to figure out how to explain this energy shift that I'm seeing. Your career is shifting such that you're not going to be in that much of a leadership role. You're relinquishing some control that you fight so passionately for. You're relinquishing some of that control by stepping into, how did it phrase it in the book here? By undertaking tasks you may feel are beyond you. You're stepping into some new uncharted territory, and that is where you can take that fiery, passionate energy and carry it through in a way that's it's self-improving. You're developing as you're doing it. You're also not in a position. Okay, here's maybe a good way to explain it. Here, this Lorelei card is actually really valuable here. So the mermaid in the card is where you were, holding the anchor, giving you the ability to say whether or not that team would continue on their way or if they would capsize. Your energy is shifting to where you are in the boat. And you are a captain directing where the ship can go rather than being an authoritative figure. It's more of a captain energy. That's a very cool place to be, because where you might on a surface level think that that's a demotion because you're no longer the authority figure, it's actually an upgrade. It's really a level up, because true leaders can be the people in the team making it happen. True leaders can inspire the person who is in control. It's actually an upgrade. It's like a level up. Even though on a surface level it might seem like a temporary setback, it's really not. And you're able to use your fire in a more productive way. You're seeing it differently. You're able to take a step. You're able to have a perspective shift where you were looking at things too high before. Now you're into it and you're seeing it from within. And because you had that higher level knowledge of overseeing, your work from the ground up is more informed. There's wisdom gained in this transition. This is really cool. I never know what's going to come out when I start doing a reading, and this is really cool. You're going to find that you have gifts and talents that you didn't actually even know were there, because you were very caught up in this, you know, sort of emotionally taxing leadership role. Now that you've relinquished that control and you are fostering this from the bottom up, you're going to have an abundant well of talents that are going to come forward that you didn't know were there, and that is so cool. This perspective shift has given you the ability to balance emotion and the sort of but you also have that overseeing perspective, so you're able to help balance the parts of a team that the person actually holding the anchor here might not even see. So whereas so judgment came out for you here. Why would judgment have come out here? Maybe we need to get a clarifier. Let's just do this for a second. We don't know what that card is, so we want it back in the deck. What, can we clarify why the judgment card came out for you? What's this one sticking up back here? Oh, okay. You're seeing where you had wrongly judged others, because now that you are in the same position, you see it differently, and you're actually, that's part of the karma burning. You are now the person getting judged, and you see it differently. You see how you were wrong before, but that's good. That's good, because that's knowledge. That's knowledge, that's experience. And that can help your new team that you're working with and not just overseeing. That can elevate your team by giving insight and perspective that you'd only have if you had been in that position of control. Yeah, this is a really interesting message. I hope this can give you the opportunity to self-reflect. Because you have this shift of perspective, this understanding of being judged where you used to judge others, that allows you to bring a sense of balance that you didn't actually you weren't able to see it before, and now you can see it, and now you actually have the skills and the knowledge to bring more balance. This is a really interesting reading. Group number 1. Yeah, I wanted to do one more thing before closing out the reading. Sorry about that. I was starting to finish up too soon, and I realized we have these cards here. These are just cards that I've made with personal skills and talents that you might have. Are there any messages here? What skills and talents does group number 1 have that might come out in this new phase? Well, this is 2. Energy channel. Oh, okay. Programming. Interesting combination. And I feel like it was this one. Is that 2? Oh, okay. This makes a lot of sense for you. Group number 1. So, claircognizance is a sense of knowing. You have created you've been in a career path where you have been able to gain perspective and knowledge, but you're actually able to quiet the mind and allow in a sense of knowing. Allow in those messages from the universe that are guiding you. You're at the point where when you sense those messages coming in, you can trust that. Programming can apply in a number of different ways. You could be programming computer code, but you could be programming time. You could be programming space, as in building design. You could be programming a new workflow for your team. And this has to do with the fact that you had this point of view previously of being able to see things from above, and now you can see things from the bottom up. And that is giving you such knowledge and experience to be able to reorganize, restructure, and create efficiency and flow. However this might apply in your particular field, this is something that is unique to the perspective shift that you have experienced and are experiencing. And energy channeling, because you can do these things, you have the ability within your career to shift how the energy is flowing. If you're seeing an area in your endeavors or your group's endeavors that's falling stale or stagnant, you're going to have the knowing, the knowledge, the wisdom to be able to shift things, reprogram it, and create energy flow, movement, change in areas that was lacking. So that's a really cool thing that you can bring to the table at this point. Group number 1, now that we did our little keyword cards here, I hope this was a valuable message for you. If you resonated with this message, please give me a like and subscribe, and I'd love to have you back for another reading. Bye. Hello, group number 2. You chose the card Oh Sunny Day with lemon quartz. Let's take a look at where you are or where you've been in your career thus far. Let's pick an animal spirit for where you are or where you've been. I feel like it's not that one, but it's this one. Where is group number 2? Where are they, or where have they been? Okay. Group number 2, where have you been in your career, or where are you now? For 2 of these, where are you, or where have you been? Information for where has group number 2 been in their career, and where are they now? Information. We do want that top one. Oh, we're not turning them over. We're going to wait and reveal these all at once. We have some more information about, yep, that. Okay. So for the moment, we're going to put those here. animal spirit representing where is group number 2 headed in their career. Where's group number 2 headed? Where's group number 2 headed? Information of where is group number 2 headed. This one really wanted to. More information about where's group number 2 headed in their career. Need to clear this. No, I think we do need that one. Okay, one more. We have some more information. Thank you. Okay. So we'll put these up here for now, and let's find out. Ooh, bear. These are the cards representing where you are or where you have been in your career already. Remember actually seeing this card when I always shuffle between groups to make sure to, you know, give a good shuffle and clear the energy, and I ended up seeing that card, Robin Goodfellow, by accident when shuffling. Oops. Yeah, I'm not going to take reversals. Well, wow, okay. Bear spirit. Where is bear spirit? There you are. Bear spirit is kind of interesting to come in the where you've been part of the reading, because it's actually the very in the guidebook, it's actually the very first card, and it can represent a new beginning. After a long winter, the bear arises from the deep slumber. With, at first, you know, the bear first gets up. It's like waking up in the morning, moving with difficulty and effort. So it's interesting. It says that the bear card represents an individual on the cusp of new directions and personal transformation. The initial weeks and months of this spiritual quest may feel tricky, cumbersome, and full of obstacles. But spring emerges and transformation begins. So this is, so it says when bear spirit is out of balance, it can be withdrawn, lethargy, and a sense of heaviness. So I'm feeling like that might those keywords might be important here. Okay, Robin Goodfellow. Let's talk about him for a minute. This is a really interesting card. So he is part fairy. He's the son of the fairy king Oberon. he likes to be sort of a trickster character. It says here he doesn't seem to age. He seems to be forever 60 years old. And it says in the story here that he tests the promise of fairy powers by demanding food, and at once a dish of fine veal is set before him. So this has this sort of feeling to me that in your early stages career, you may have worked really hard with your education and to get where you to get where you were, but there was also this sense of sort of I want to say delusions of grandeur. You may have even been treated as a child, and that comes back to you, and you sort of make yourself bigger and more demanding because you're well educated. You've gotten where you are for a reason, and it's very creates a sort of a bitter sense, and it creates a sense of I have to stand my ground, and often that comes off to employers as that it's sort of off-putting. But that's there for a reason. It's there to protect you. So it goes on to say that Robin wished himself to be a horse, and at once he became a fine-spirited beast, and thereafter changed himself into a black dog, a green tree, and so on. Until he was sure he could change himself into anything he wished. It goes on to say he can change shape at will, not only into animals, birds, fish, but also into bushes, rocks, and clouds. This is a shapeshifter. That is so interesting. That is so interesting. Because of this confine that was put on you by people paying you, they didn't see your value. And this happens. People hire you because, if you've just finished your college education or your training program, your vocation, your internship, whatever, if you've just finished that and you are at the bottom tier of the pay grade, right? And that's often taken advantage of. They want you to stay at that pay grade. They want you to stay at that low billing rate, whether or not you're capable for more. And this creates this sort of angsty energy, and rightfully so, because that angsty energy has given you an inner fire. See, Robin O'Leary's he's dressed in like a deep red or dark orange. There's a fiery energy about him. There's some angst on his face, and there should be, because he's so much more than what people have thought of him as. And that gives me a flavor for what your early career has been like. Group number 2. You have the knowledge and the training and even the experience, but for whatever reason, maybe because you look young, maybe because, maybe for some of you, being female in a male-dominated field, there's something about you that they want to hide you. But no, you're capable of more. So you stand your ground, which is really good for you for not giving in to the corporate crap. You stood your ground. And in standing your ground, you actually became a shape shifter. You took on You took projects head on. You learned new skills along the way. You developed yourself. You went to focus in this area so you could get some experience here. And then, you know, as that might have been getting stale, you saw an opportunity to gain more knowledge by shifting your experience and your efforts in a different direction. You began to shift and morph into the roles that needed to be filled. So the shapeshifter analogy here is very representative of what it may have been like for you, kind of pushing to different areas of expertise in order to survive, and you did it really well. You did it really well because you were malleable. You were seen as someone who had value. So you took that forward. You continued to intuitively move to different areas of expertise within your field, learn more, change, shift, develop. You kept stepping through doors and you were developing your career in different areas. And I want to say that with the Wheel of Fortune, there was a turning about it. You didn't just stay stagnant. You went in different directions, slightly different directions. To gain more and more skills in different areas. If I want to try and give you a flavor for what this might have been like. You know, like a career as an architect. You don't want to just do one task. Yeah, okay, you need to do some schematic design, but you also needed to be able to develop details. You need to be able to do material research, researching of the building systems. You need to be able to coordinate with engineers. You need to be able to, in certain cases, be able to do sustainability certifications on buildings. You need to be able to do what they call construction administration, where you're overseeing the actual implementation, the site, potentially demo work of an existing building, site prep, and construction of the new building, and finishing that all the way through toward making sure the paint colors are chosen correctly. When you are in a career like that, and that analogy can work for pretty much any career, you don't benefit by staying in one zone. In fact, you'll never get your license that way. You have to have experience in every area in order to actually be able to take your licensure exams. I would say that, you know, you must have that must apply to many different careers. That sort of shape-shifting ability is good. It makes you more valuable. The downside to that is you haven't accelerated along one path to get ahead of everyone else in one area. By diversifying yourself, by being a shapeshifter, you're staying stuck, rotating around different roles potentially. I'm hoping my analogy is resonating. One can see where my former career was. This allowed you to step through different doors, but, you know, Four of Wands here, that's the 11 card. That's a gateway. The trouble is every time you spun that wheel, you walk through a different door. You shape-shifted. You spun the Wheel of Fortune. You shape-shifted. You walk through a door. This is the essence of the energy that you may be in right now. You don't know through which door you actually belong. That feels stuck. This sort of perpetual motion is also in itself sort of a stuckness, because at some point it seems as though I don't want to get too far ahead. Oh, here we go. There's there's a feeling of not wanting to take a risk and really fully committing to one door. That's where we're going with this. Sorry for the tangent specific to one career field. Yeah, you're afraid. You have been to a certain degree successful, and you're afraid of losing that success you've already gained by picking a door and going through it. Maybe we want to take a look at Oh Sunny Day. Don't allow the past to linger into today. All the moments of this day are brand new. Never seen before or since. Yeah, but and you've proven yourself to be quite a shapeshifter, so you can handle that. You have the power to make good things happen. You can make today your lucky day. And it also points out, we'll put the card closer to the camera so you can see. These little ladybugs are like tokens of good luck, and they're crawling up the mushroom to, you know, they're in the shade. They're crawling up here to be seen. So there may be some inklings. You might be brewing some inklings of which door you might want to go through and stay. So, okay, so that's cool. That's setting up kind of the energy of where you are. So let's, oh, those are slipping around. Okay. Why don't we then get into where you are headed, Tarantula. The Green Man. Senses. Three of Cups. Oops. Yeah, there's a fear that you've created this tower and it might fall down if you make a choice. There's a fear of making a choice here, but let's before we get too far into that, let's take a look at Tarantula. Oh, keyword at the top of the Tarantula card is at a crossroad. At a crossroad. There's two paths. Claiming life's purpose. The Tarantula represents a moment when a great decision must be made. It involves prioritizing your life's deeper purpose. Okay, I recently did a reading about your life's purpose, your soul's purpose or life mission. If you haven't checked out that reading, you might want to, because this this decision ahead of you does have to do with that life purpose. A habit or routine from the past is sidetracking you from your dream. That is exactly what I should have left these out maybe. What we were talking about. You're spinning that wheel, you're shape shifting, you're going in different directions, and you're stuck in that, and that's sidetracking you from really being able to pursue your dream. A voice inside keeps begging you to refocus your attention. That's about choosing. I don't know if you can see those. No. It's about choosing. You know, you gotta respin that wheel, and you have to choose which door to walk through. Until you do, satisfaction will be fleeting. The Tarantula hovers, patient and calm, like an old friend that knows your inner soul. Ooh, yeah. Okay, when out of balance, hesitates and over-intellectualizes. Because you have done so much shape-shifting, you've seen that each iteration of you in your career has its pros and cons. And it would be very hard to get very stuck in trying to choose, to break it down and intellectually choose which is the right path for you. But I'm getting the sense that that's not how you figure out which path to take. Let's take a look at the Green Man. I'm noticing this is card number 22. So I don't know if, you know, that's a master number when you're talking about numerology. So I don't know if that has any particular significance. It may, if I could find the Green Man. Okay, the Green Man. There's a lot of information on this card, so it's really interesting, I think, that, let's bring him back out. The Brahman Goodfellow should be your previous energy, and where you're headed is the Green Man. The Green Man is more of, you know, I want to think of him more as like a nature spirit. He is present in all aspects of nature, and in that way there is a shape-shifting quality to this energy as well. So I want to read a little bit here. Or was that? Okay, there's, with each character card, there is, what is that character like as a companion? And let's just read this, because I think these words are really, may really resonate with you. I am all that is green and growing. I walk this world in search of life, and where I find it, I infuse it with new energy and strength. So what I'm finding here in this previous energy of shape-shifting and you being malleable to fit into different roles and gain different experiences, what's allowing you to do that so easily is you can see beauty and appreciate each of those areas. Where was that Wheel of Fortune card? As you shape shift and you spin and you head in the direction of another role, there are things about that role that may resonate with you, and you appreciate, you understand the importance of, and therefore you can tap into some spirited endeavor. It fuels a passion within you. Just like the Green Man is walking this world in search of life, and where I find it, I infuse it with new energy and strength. So each time you have shape-shifted in your career, you're infusing that career with new energy and strength. That's really key here for you. You may not have one specific career that you're meant for. You may be bringing you, the spirit that is you, to each endeavor you take on. This is interesting. This is about you discovering what makes you you, what uniquely gives you value in each and every situation that you've been in. That thing is that you see the value in that situation. You have this amazing shape-shifting quality that you can do pretty much anything, such that, and you're passionate about so many things that it's so hard to spin that wheel and select one door to move through and stay. And you know what? That may be okay for you, because maybe where you find that sense of contentment that you're searching for is staying mobile, continuing to shift and to transform. What did we say here in place? Tarantula. There was something. That's not tarantula. Where's tarantula? In order to find true happiness. Oh, wait. Until you... the satisfaction will be fleeting. If you stay stagnant in one path, your satisfaction will be fleeting. Your sort of career ability here is being a shapeshifter. You don't have to. I don't want to lead anyone on a sort of a path that doesn't have stable security. Rather, I want you to be able to take a look in each scenario. Reflect on what you enjoyed about that career scenario. And as you, sorry, I keep coming back to this because I think it's a really good image here. As you spin this wheel and you land in another thing, and you may feel a sense of satisfaction in certain aspects of that new job, that new career. Reflect on those moments, and you may be able to find little nuggets, like the cute little ladybugs that want to reveal themselves. What are those little glimmers of this feels like me? That's the thing. Find that spirit of you that's shining in that situation. What lights you up? What gives you this sense of accomplishment, this sort of sense of celebratory feeling that the Three of Cups card feels really good. And there's truth to those little ladybugs. There's truth in that about who you are. And that remains true even when you've experienced tower moments. There's that little bit of you that still remained true. And this is the census card here. Is you're looking at it from a different point of view. Look at it from what made you feel a sense of accomplishment. What did you like when you were in that particular role? And what were you searching for when you shapeshifted into the next role? you're carrying, I'm thinking about this wreath on this wand. You're carrying that green man's soul. And I don't know, we have a lot of imagery about, you know, the earth and the ecological importance. So maybe there's something that rings true for you about the, maybe there's some environmental aspect to what lights you up. Yeah, this is interesting. Sorry, group 2, it took a while to really kind of connect that thread. And the thread is you, what lights you up in those situations, and how to remain true to that, to continue to put yourself in situations where you feel like you're in this energy. And you can be you and let you, that what brings your life force and your soul to that situation, carry that through into that new role. So I wanted to read, that's the wrong guidebook. Okay, I wanted to read the blessing. Okay, so it's the challenger part of the Green Man card. Walk with me in the forest depths or climb the hills to breathe the clear air that still floats upon them. Accept the challenge to remember these things. Okay, remember. Really reflect on that. Remember what it was that made you feel good about previous career endeavors. What made you remember that? Accept the challenge to remember these things, and from this learn how best to fulfill your dreams and longings. Okay, in the blessing for this card, it says, remember that all experiences you have, good or bad, encourage growth. You were in every experience that you've had here, you're becoming more the Green Man. Remember that all experiences you have, good or bad, encourage growth. Find your way to the heart of the wild, and you will find solace and healing. Okay, so with all of the character cards, there's a meditation, and the Green Man's meditation says, he stands amid the trees, so still and green, that at first you think him another growing thing. Indeed, perhaps he is, for as you draw near, you see the leaves that spring from his mouth and shadow his eyes. And the hands he reaches out to you are twigged like an ancient, as the oldest trees. His touch brings a sense of strength to you, that you feel that you too are growing taller, rising above the forest canopy and looking far into the distance. Into your mind flow messages that scatter your problems like dead leaves. New growth comes into you, and you step away at last with renewed energy and hope. That's really a wonderful message about a meditation to get in touch with you. What lights up your soul, and find those little nuggets of truth that have been not just in your career but in all aspects of life, and find, and this is about moving forward with a renewed sense of who you are, and allow that to guide you. Because even when you experience tower moments, it doesn't really faze you that much because of this growing sense with each thing you've been through. You're becoming more and more who you are. You're real. I feel like this is, you know, you on a path here. This shape-shifting you is developing and growing and carrying a sense of self forward to becoming this green man character, which is very rooted in truth of spirit. This is so interesting for you, group number 2. I'm wishing you the best in exploring what lights you up, and wishing you the best in your new endeavors. If you resonated with this, oh, wait. We have some cards, little keywords. Are there any messages that want to come out that might give, I'm going to say it might give group number 2 some more clues. Those little ladybugs of truth that put you in this energy. What are those things? Do we have any clues here for you? And, well, okay. Well, we saw that. Writing. If you are called to write, you may have wonderful things that come out while you're writing. That actually might be the process of discovery for you. Innovative thinking. Because of the, oh, that's really cool, group number 2. Because of all these large variety of experiences you have had, that allows you unique perspective. This also was, and that brings healing. Getting in touch with these things, it's all, you know, bringing healing for you, healing your soul and helping you feel like that 3 of Cups energy and helping you to become more the green man, metaphorically speaking. So group number 2, that's what I have for you today. Thank you. And if you resonated with today's reading, please give me a like and subscribe. That helps me to grow my channel. And thank you for being here today. Bye. Hello and welcome. Group number 3, you chose the card No Rain today, with the champagne topaz. So we're going to take a look at where you've been in your career and where you are right now versus where you're headed. So where we have an animal spirit to represent where group number 3 has been in their career thus far. Yep, that's the one my thumb is on. So what we're going to do, everyone else was getting just one animal spirit card, but I think I was calling to bring out 2 for you. Okay, can we get a sense for where group number 3 is in their career? This seemed to be really lingering. Okay, and let's see, we get a sense for where is group, did I say group number 2? I apologize if I said that earlier. Where's group number 3 in their career? Where have they been and where are they now? Have more information about where group number 3 has been in their career, where they are now. Okay, just one more. This one. Okay. The these up here, and then we're gonna pull some cards for where is group number 3 going? So an animal spirit to represent where group number 3 is. What, I don't know what's going on here, but we go with it. I have information for where group number 3. I have some information for where group number 3 is going. Where are they headed? We have additional information for where group number 3, where their career is headed. My eyes have lingered on that one. Just grab it. We have more information on where group number 3 is headed. More information for where group number 3 is headed. Don't feel like that's right. Let's clear this a little bit. We have more information for where group number 3 is headed. Feeling that one, that one. Okay. Okay, let's look at where you are right now. Let's find out why you got 2 animal spirit. That's interesting. Okay, so was it group number 2 that got the wolf spirit? So that's interesting. Stingray, the hood nurse. Oh, I don't know that I've drawn that card before. I'll have to look that up. Okay. Ooh, divine light. Some interesting energy here. Senses. Did this also come out in group 2? Okay. Before we get into breaking this down, I wanted to point out something about the ring today here. It says they chase away the rays of light, chase away grief and loss on dark days. Turn your face toward the sun and let the shadows fall behind you. That's interesting. That's an interesting phrasing, I think. To let your shadows fall behind you. So I do want to keep those words in mind as we start to understand this picture here of your career thus far. The wolf spirit is a fiery spirit, a spirit of leadership, but also when out of balance. So interesting that the judgment card came up, because judgment can be wolf spirit being out of balance, judging other members of the pack when they're not falling into alignment as expected. So there's something that's really, this is a very loud message here about judgment being sort of something that's in the past in your career. So let's dive into Stingray. Why do I keep passing the Stingray? That may, there may be something sort of metaphorical in that. I kept flipping in the book past the Stingray and couldn't land on it. Okay. Okay, keywords here. Developing confidence, sense of self or spine. And you see the spine is lit up here with the chakra colors from crown through root. The Stingray card represents a pivotal point in personal growth. Okay, here we go. This is big. The moment has come when the Stingray must decide between the old, the easy, comfortable, and familiar, and the new, the challenging, the uncomfortable, and the unfamiliar. Okay, here's why you have 2 animal spirit cards. This is where you were. This point. This is your past in your career. This being a pack leader, being in, making decisions based on what the success of the group, but may have had some toxic traits of unfairly judging others, or even unfairly judging I'm called to bring up, was there a scenario where you were unfairly judging those that your team needed to coordinate or with, or like a consultant situation? I'm not sure. That may be really specific for someone here. Stingray is more in representing this specific moment in time for you. The moment has come when the Stingray must decide between the old, easy, comfortable, and familiar, and the new, challenging, uncomfortable, and the unfamiliar. Pressure from family and friends makes the decision even more complicated. We're getting into this judgment stuff. Okay, no matter what choice is made now, it's inevitable that this dilemma will surface again and again, as the force of Dharma growing within the Stingray is too strong to ignore. When out of balance, blames others and quits. But when in balance, is eager and wants to grow. Okay, group number 3. Okay, this is starting to make sense. If we back up a minute and go back to this. Oops, lost my page there. What's the wording on this? No rain today card. The sun's rays chase away grief and loss. On dark days, turn your face to the sun and let your shadows fall behind you. Okay, so then pivot to the Hoodners. Okay, so this is... The Hoodners is a title given to groups of folk dancers who circulate through villages, especially in Kent and parts of Wales around the time of Christmas. So that's interesting that they can also be associated with May Day. I guess if they're doing their thing, it's all year round, maybe. They dress in a variety of strange costumes, but always carry with them the horse's skull on a pole, so devised that its jaw can be worked to make an eerie clacking sound. In this energy you've been in this leadership energy, you've run under the assumption that if one ignores the darkness, ignore the things that aren't working, ignore the things that are toxic, sad, ignore the stuff that's not working, and as this card says, turn your face toward the sun, to allow your shadows to be behind you, that put on these weird costumes and dance. Why don't you? Because you're not actually addressing the negative things in order to move past them. You're just pretending that they're not there, and that was your tendency previously. That's a heavy energy that has brought some negative karma, because just ignoring problems is definitely not the right approach, even though people who have mentored you in your career thus far have undoubtedly told you that that's exactly what you need to do, is just pretend that the bad stuff's not happening. Group number 3, you are ready to face that stuff that feels uncomfortable, and you're ready to move through that stuff. You're not ignoring, your inner light is shining on the bad stuff, because it's way past time to do that. You're at the point where you're seeing that clearly. You're not being fooled. You know, when you're in a career, there's a lot of people out there who will coach you, who will tell you all kinds of stuff about management, career development, and for the most part, it's all garbage. They've developed defense mechanisms, developed their own ways of staying alive and floating, and it can honestly be a lot of horrible, toxic advice. I've certainly been on the receiving end of a whole lot of garbage like that, and they have some sort of, they may think they're doing you a favor by coaching you on how to be a toxic manager, but they don't even see, because they're still in this energy. You're here. Okay, that's going to be hard to hear. Don't take any advice from somebody who's in the unbalanced, judgmental wolf energy. They want you to think that they're thinking about the team. They want you to think that they're a skilled leader, the leadership. They're not. They're even though they may be at they may be making twice as much of a salary as you, they are 10 steps behind you, because you're already here. You've advanced. This is not to say stingray energy is better than wolf energy, but I'm really feeling like to talk about the unbalanced wolf energy. That's in your past. You've moved past that, so definitely don't take advice from the people around you who are still stuck in that toxic this. You're starting to see clearly, and you're starting to see that the people who you looked to for judgment are just full of garbage, and that you I'm trying not to use language that can't be on YouTube. You're seeing them for what they are, and you're understanding that you have a better, you have a good moral compass, and you can see past, you can see beyond their misjudgments. They don't want you to be empowered. Magician energy is powerful, because magician, this is energy of having the knowledge, the experience, the foresight, as well as the skills to make things happen. They don't want you to feel like you are in this energy. They want to pass judgment on you, and they want to control you. You're past that. You developed past that. And when I say you've developed past that, doesn't mean that you've been elevated in your pay grade past that. It means you can see them more clearly. Them being the hierarchical structures that have been above you in your career. Now that you're seeing clearly, now that you've been able to shine light on the stuff, that it feels ick, but you're in a new point of being able to take control of your own path, because you can clearly see the stuff. Now that you've seen stuff, the chariot will, you can get on the chariot and move in the direction that you want to go in, with empowerment and with clarity. You've chosen this champagne topaz has such a crystal clarity. And that's representing where you are at this moment, where you're no longer going to accept the BS. You are using all of your senses, and you're looking at it from a different perspective, and there's no fooling you, okay? That allows you to open a door. So, okay, now that we've really gotten to what's going on here for you at the moment, now we can take a look at this, find out. Let's move these cards so we don't have too many cards on the table at once. And let's find out, group 3, where you're headed. Buffalo. Oh, Buffalo's interesting here. Buffalo, they have an ability to, I think they can redirect when they're moving as a group, and they have the ability to say, oh, there was an obstacle here. Well, let's redirect. Okay, well, let's dive into that. I'm getting a sense of feeling rushed right now, because there's like an invigorating energy that filled the reading once we talked about the now you have clarity part of it. Guy of Gisborne, that is a strange energy to moving into, and we've got a skull image here too. What's going on here? Ugh. Okay. Well, the wretch. Okay. It's about remaining humble. It sounds like a really negative card, but it's actually reminding one to remain humble. Okay. Buffalo is really balanced. So the keywords at the top here are grounded yet heavenly, practical yet spiritual. You've gained this insight, and that's really gonna guide you here. The hooves of the mighty buffalo are grounded in the earth, yet its heart and mind rise toward the heaven. The buffalo sees challenge, hardship, or a bump in the road as an opportunity for upliftment, and that's where you are. You're seeing clearly. That gives you the opportunity to move forward, shift the energy into a more productive mode. Therefore, the buffalo does not fear death, illness, or misfortune. Its gentle eye looks toward the road ahead, trusting every turn. Stable, resilient, headstrong can be the archetype of the father, and that just seems more like a nurturing energy. It may be a reminder. When I'm seeing that, I'm reminded there may be need for being compassionate toward your own path, where you've been. So provides underlying support amidst life's challenges. Okay, the elk personality is fully established in themselves and knows their core values. That was this divine light coming in. It kind of reminds me of that. Or coming in, where you're seeing, you know who you are, and because you see others clearly now. And seeing others clearly, I just want to point out, is not judging others. It's seeing others clearly. We in our career, we may look up to people who have more experience and say, oh, well, they must have it all figured out. Well, no, nobody has it all figured out. Anybody who tells you they have it all figured out, well, they're just they don't know what they don't know. And it's sort of a egotistical place to be. So if you're encountering people like that in your career, you're seeing them clearly. You're understanding where they have experience and where maybe they're talking out of the wrong part of the body. I'm having a hard time editing myself here because there's some energy here that feels really ick. This card is reminding one to remain humble. You're not at a place where you're seeing others clearly and that you're judging others and you're thinking that you're better than others, and that's not what's happening here. You have a sense of humility, but also a very solid sense of understanding the dynamics at large. When you're down at the bottom of the totem pole in a career, you might feel so distant from those who have higher experience level than you. Yet, if you were to zoom out and look at that structure from afar, you would see that there's very little difference between you and that other person. That gives you the opportunity to have compassion for them, but also have a good sense of self to understand what you need to learn and where you need to grow. So this is not, you're not in a judgmental energy. You're in an energy of really seeing and having compassion for everyone's place in the process who you might be encountering in your career, I guess is what I'm trying to say. When out of balance, the elk is pretentious and high and mighty, which is what we were just talking about. That's the energy that you're seeing in others, and because you're seeing it in others, that gives you the ability to not be in that energy. Sometimes it's nice to have an example of what not to do, and that allows you to make a different choice. When in balance, elk energy is supportive, kind, and consistent. So you can be supportive, kind, and consistent for those who maybe are new in your field and who might be looking up to you. You can also bring supportiveness, kindness, and consistency to those who might be seen as hierarchically above you. Okay, that's really interesting. We've got this is puzzling me. Let's find out why Guy of Gisborne showed up for you and where you're going. Ooh, this is the energy of people who have been trying to guide you and have been guiding you from the wrong place. Ooh. We're hanging on to this energy in group 3. I want to help you to be able to pass this. Okay, let's find out. His title suggests that he was born of a noble family, but his behavior shows nothing of courage or chivalry. Okay. That's the people who have been trying to mentor you and they don't have any idea what they're doing. But they want to act like they do. So maybe you're still headed forward, but you're still encountering this. Okay. As a companion, if you choose to... Sorry, I bumped the light there. If you choose to journey with me, I will offer you the protection of my sword, but I will not offer wisdom. For this you must find yourself. Being such a character that's an ego, you don't want wisdom from him because you're on a journey you're on a journey where you're discovering that inner wisdom on your own. Don't look for it from someone else. That inner wisdom's coming from you. Okay, again, here it says, when you seek answers to your questions, you may find that I am a presence you might prefer not to have. That kind of worded that in a really strange way, but yeah, that's more messages of you are not in a place where you should be taking advice from anyone, really, because you are not that person. Even if, I mean, this feels like a negative energy, but you may actually encounter people who are trying to give you knowledge that would help you, and that knowledge would have helped them. Doesn't mean it's right for you. Even if they're well-intended, someone might be trying to give you advice that really isn't the advice that's right for you. That's the discernment. And it, you know, it doesn't hurt to listen to advice from others, especially others who might actually want to be there for you. I'm getting the sense that most of the advice givers aren't really there for you. But even if they are, it's okay to listen. Just nod. Maybe there's a nugget or two that might be valuable in there, but you have to listen to your inner voice. Okay, it also says, if you are weak and without courage, I will challenge you to strengthen your resolve and make yourself learn how to meet opposition courageously. You can use these awkward interactions with your mentors as opportunity to strengthen your own conviction, strengthen your own self-knowing, and how you want to show up in that situation. And it says, I will mock you until you have grown wiser. This is an energy to be very wary of, because the people giving you advice might be also talking to people higher up about you negatively. Be very careful what you share in these awkward interactions with people who are mentoring you. Not everyone has this sneaky intention where they're trying to get you to say stuff that you don't want to share. They're trying to make you feel safe to share. And then behind your back, they may mock you. And, yeah, this is really not feeling good. And you're at the point where you're seeing this and you're gaining awareness of this. And I'm getting the sense that the reading here for you in group 3 is, it's a little different in that it is, you're currently in and will still be in some of this tricky energy. And this reading, I think, is serving a purpose to help you break out of that. It's not so much of a reading of where you're headed as a destination. It's a reading to help you get further along your path. The tree associated with him in the guidebook, and it has a message from the elm, and it says, I represent the strength that comes from within and draws sustenance from beneath the earth. I am thus at once present in the deep woods and in the lands below. Like me, you may draw upon the hidden things that lie just beyond human sight. You're seeing, you have clarity that you're seeing this sneaky, deceiving energy of people who were supposed to be mentoring you. You're seeing that. Do not dismiss these things until you have tested them. Allow them also to test you. They're testing you. Don't give away too much. Stay steadfast, stay strong, know who you are, and move forward with confidence, but caution. Know who you are. In these awkward interactions, that gives you the opportunity to solidify the knowing of self, and that's a really good thing. So the Empress, I'd like to actually draw some clarification. How can you get to this Empress energy? You're knowing your skills, you're staying humble, you're avoiding the sneaky energy. There must be something here in your story that I haven't seen yet. So let's take a look. Let's draw a couple of clarifiers. Can we have more information? I feel like that wanted to come out right away. So did that. Okay. Didn't even fully answer the question. Oh, you're really diving in. Well, Five of Cups is in reverse. Why would the Five of Cups be in reverse? It's actually those negative interactions that's helping you to solidify who you are. That's hard. Okay. What in the world? When you reflect on these instances of icky interactions, you're starting to be able to see, oh, I handled that really well that time, or oh, I wish I hadn't said that. And each time this happens, you're getting a little bit better. You're getting a little bit better about handling with grace that BS energy. And you're seeing that it's actually those cups that are getting spilled that are actually growing you into someone who's so strong and so noble and so discerning, such that you will be a very well balanced leader someday. It's sad, but to get to get here, you've had to endure this. You've had to have cups spilled, and that's really kind of not a happy message, but it's also an encouraging message. Just don't give up, because you can end up here. You can get to the Empress energy, and being really present and thoughtful in this process. Have that sense of stable that the Elk energy was calling you to, and don't be afraid to reflect on yourself in a very honest way, and know that no one is perfect. No one is perfect. Maybe you got triggered in one of those interactions, and maybe had a tone of voice or said something that you really look back on it and you say you wish you hadn't said. But have gentleness. There was a message here about nurturing, a parental sort of nurturing. Be gentle with yourself, because you're not perfect. You're on this path, and you will get to this Empress stage. You will get there. I think the majority of this reading is telling you to be patient with yourself in this process, and to know that when you encounter these people in your career, it's not a reflection of you. That's them. That's a problem with them, and it's unfortunate that you have to deal with it, but you can actually learn how to be better than that. Okay. Oops. Shuffling these, and that fell out. Let's find out what that is. Dreaming. This is dream time. Oh, there may be little clues and hints about this in your dream. In your dream time. Really take a look, try and record your dreams and look for symbolism. What might be coming up? What might be repeating itself? It might help you navigate. It might help you navigate this. Are there any skills, talents, things that... Okay, oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. You've got ancestral healing. This is not just you who's been facing that. This is something that's going on in your family line and your soul family. But you're healing not just you in this process. And clairvoyant seeing came out. You may be seeing, you may have visions, you may have little glimpses of stuff that pops into your head and you don't know why. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to that. Because that's going to help give you that insight and help you to be able to navigate through and around this sort of like negativeness. You may see things in dreams that give you little hints about how what's the next. There's a line in the second Frozen movie to just, I think it's something like, just take the next right step. Like, you're not going to have it all figured out, but these little hints and clues, and just stay humble and pay attention to what you see. And you're seeing negative, but you're going to be able to use each little bit of intuition to help you make the next right step. Eventually you'll be in Empress energy, and I hope that this reading, I hope it served as a confirmation that you're not crazy. This sneaky, undermining energy has been around you. You're not being paranoid. It's there. And I hope this will give you encouragement to keep going, to keep pushing through, to trust yourself, to remain humble, and just, even when it's so hard to do so, because interactions with this type of person can be so triggering, to remain in balance. Where is this knight? Remember what's important to you and continue to try and move through it without getting caught up in this drama. So, yeah, I hope this serves as some confirmation that you can trust to keep going. And I hope you found something valuable here today. If you resonated with this reading, please give me a like and subscribe. I'd love to have you back for another reading. Bye.